advising clients across Cape Cod and across the country. Here he is, your host, J. Christopher Boyd.
It is Memorial Day weekend. Thanks to Brad Martin for preparing some nice intros for us with that. And where it is Memorial Day weekend, I thought it would be a good opportunity to catch up with my friend, Colonel Jim Lefevre, who is commander over at the Massachusetts Air National Guard 102nd Intelligence Wing, and give us a little update on what's going on. But Memorial Day is really about remembering those who have fallen in the service of our nation and in the defending of our nation. And so it's an opportunity to be mindful of that and thankful for those who have given their lives in the service of our country. So, but part of the way we can do that is also recognize those who are currently serving. And Jim, Colonel Lefevre, thanks for being here.
Jim's fine.
I wanted to be a little more formal for you, but anyway, thanks for being here. It's great to have you.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me here to talk some about, as you called it, the base.
Yeah, the base.
The base. And this gives me an opportunity to just give you an update of what's been going on with all of the different functions that are on the big base, and to kind of explain things that I don't think a lot of people really know what's going on.
Unless you have some contact with it, it is somewhat, it's hard to understand who's out there now.
Right, exactly.
Like what's
exactly.
really going on.
So maybe I can do that. I'll go from like large to small.
That'd be great.
And then I'll end up with what we do at the 102nd a little bit.
Terrific.
So, the big picture of what the base is, we call it the Joint Base Cape Cod these days.
Okay.
Formerly known as the Massachusetts Military Reservation. But honestly, when you use the term military reservation outside of this area, like talking to your counterparts on the active duty, they have no idea what that is.
Yeah.
So we wanted to try to be a little less confusing when we explain our area right here, and we really do operate kind of like a joint base. Because there are actually five bases within the one big base.
Wow.
And I don't think everyone actually knows that. So we had Governor Patrick change the name to Joint Base Cape Cod a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Makes it a lot easier for everyone on the in the rest of the country to understand what we mean. But within the joint base, we've got multiple services. So, for instance, we have a Cape Cod Air Force Station, which is the home of the 6th Space Warning Squadron. This is a small active duty Air Force site. They've got the big giant radar, the PAPAWS radar that you see when you cross the Sagamore. And those guys are small size, but they are an active duty base. Then we have the U.S. Coast Guard presence, and last summer they split into they were used to be the Air Station Cape Cod. Now they split into Coast Guard Base Cape Cod and Coast Guard Air Station, and two separate 06 commands. And they are a growing presence on the base. They own and operate the airfield right now. They own all the housing, the infrastructure, the commissary, the bowling alley, the movie theater.
Is that right?
All the stuff that used to be part of old Otis Air Force Base. The Coast Guard actually took over. They've been running that for many, many years.
Interesting. Now, when did it stop being Otis Air Force Base? For example?
Otis Air Force Base,
while, right?
yeah, that was in the early 70s.
That
it stopped being an Air Force Base, and the Massachusetts Air National Guard took it over.
Okay. Right.
So you've got the 6th Space Warning Squadron, you've got the Coast Guard, 2 bases, then you have Camp Edwards. Camp Edwards is the Army National Guard presence.
Okay.
And they run a regional training institute. They have an aviation battalion flying the Blackhawks. And they also use the northern 15,000 acres for a very robust training area.
Wow.
So it's the largest training area in New England. And in the summertime, there's a huge surge of population when all the soldiers from the area come and do all their Army training.
Okay, yeah.
And then finally, we have Otis Air National Guard Base, which is the home of the 102nd Intel Wing, formerly Fighter Wing. So now we're an Intel Wing. So.
And that was a big change over the last few
That was a
years.
huge change.
How long has that been happening?
That was, we got, under the Base Realignment and Closure Act of 2005, the initial ruling was closure.
Yeah.
Otis was going to go away. But we successfully survived.
Yeah.
And then we had to find, however, our aircraft were going to be taken away.
Yeah.
So we had to find a new emerging mission or missions and get those approved, and we wound up getting an intelligence mission and a command and control mission.